Hi everyone. It is a Saturday morning, and this is 2/21. That's February 21st. Go click there and solve the daily puzzle, or if this is your version of seeing the solution, in case you were unable to solve today's daily puzzle, well then, awesome. Thank you for finding out the solution this way. It's Saturday, so it's going to be a tough one. Let's check it out. We're gonna turn this hat around. Go get your own Chess.com hat. They're pretty sassy. What's going on here? This is Larson Petrosian, Santa Monica, 1966. I feel like I've seen this puzzle before, or this position before. Maybe not in a puzzle format, but I'm pretty sure this is a famous position. So if I'm able to solve this one, it's probably mainly because of the fact that I've seen it before. This is tricky. Clearly the queen's under fire, so we have to be looking to do something immediately with her. Taking on g7 or another check is clearly out of the question. It looks like the pattern has to be, and this is what's familiar to me, queen takes g6. And after f takes g6, bishop takes e6. If rook to f7, both bishop takes f7 check, followed by king f8, take on g6 with check, king back to g8, bishop back to f7 check, king back to f8, check on e6, king to e8, and then even just like a simple rook to g5, hitting the bishop is going to be mate. You have a rook and a bishop for the queen, and a mating net that is taking place on the light squares that black is sort of helpless to stop. So I don't think that's the move. I'm 100% sure that queen takes g6 is the right move, but I'm going to try to solve it first. I've been getting some comments that people wonder why I don't push myself to solve the position all the way to the end before making the first move. Often I already have seen it to the end, and I just am sort of recounting it out. But we'll make sure we've solved it to the end before we move, which is what you should be doing in your own puzzle solving practice sessions and tactics trainer sessions. You should be pushing yourself to be as focused as possible. So bishop takes e6, flipping the script on the move order. Bishop takes e6 doesn't work because you can just take the queen, and there's no immediate threat on g6 to take advantage of the pin. So queen takes g6, f takes g6, bishop takes e6, rook f7. Even rook takes f7 is probably also winning, but I'm pretty sure that line I just calculated is concrete enough. So queen takes g6. The other move that black would have besides f takes g6 is some kind of... I know I'm familiar with this. Some sort of idea where they move the knight, but the mating net will still commence in a similar fashion on the light square. So let's go with this move. Queen takes g6. Yeah. Knight f4. We're going to take on f4 with the rook because we need the rook to be guarding f7 so that we can make sure we're still winning on the light squares in that pattern. I'm right about that. Bishop f7, bishop e6. Again, we needed to take with the rook because if the bishop had taken, he would have had rook f7 there, which even though you can take, and then get some sort of discovery with the bishop, that's not enough. So you take with the rook, and I've already calculated to the end, but we have this move, rook h4, and after bishop h6, we have bishop takes h6, which is pretty much it. Oh, no, it's not. I thought the puzzle was going to end right there. This is a tough one today. We're already 6 moves deep, 5 moves deep here, and not over yet. But still, the pattern, we're very close, obviously. This is a mating net that is fairly common when you have the bishop and the rook on this file here, and the other bishop guarding g8. The threat is just bishop f8, which would be mate, if not for rook f5. So that's why I thought the puzzle was just going to end after bishop takes h6, not envisioning a scenario where black could really stop it. What I thought of when I first went for this with queen takes g6 and this whole line was that the position was going to end here. And I did see g5 as an option to open up king to g6, but I knew that rook takes g5 would be enough there, I think. Although there would have been queen to b6 check, actually. So if g5, I wonder what I would have done. Oh, I'm going to come back to that. Maybe I miscalculated that, because if rook takes g5, queen to b6 check, I'm going to get mated on f1. So that was a miscalculation by me all around. Well, let's finish off the puzzle here. Bishop takes is definitely not going to be right. We have to take with the rook, and then there will be mate with the 2 bishops and the rook against the king. I believe so. After takes, we can even take with check and then repeat. And at some point we will take away the g6 square. See, now queen to b6 check is no longer a threat because we always meet it with bishop to e3 check. We meet one check with another, right? An eye for an eye, a chin for a nose, an arm for a... Well, it's an old saying. It's got to be it. And I would bet that, oh, now it's solved. Okay. Well, after g takes f5, it's probably solved because there's probably multiple solutions. After takes, I think taking with check, bishop to e6 check, and then bishop to f7 wins, but also just takes and bishop f7 immediately, taking away the escape squares, and then preparing to just move this. You wouldn't move the bishop to e3 unless they give check, but you're just going to move the bishop to f8, and that's going to be mate. So that's why it's over here. And again, queen to b6 check right away is not right. So I was right about that, but I had miscalculated g5, which is disappointing. It makes me feel like I got it wrong, honestly. Didn't have enough of my meat tornado this morning. So g5, rook takes g5, queen to b6 check would have led to mate on f1. So when I first went for this puzzle, I had seen that g5 was an escape idea, but I had miscalculated it, which is disappointing, honestly. Of course, there's a number of ways to win that position after g5, so I'm not deeply disappointed in myself for trusting that the combination initiated with queen takes g6 was accurate. But when I first went for this, obviously I said I was familiar with the idea, and I calculated that, of course, f takes g6, bishop takes e6, and then rook f7. That's a mating net that black can't get out of. And as soon as if that bishop ever lands on f7, the h file's out of question because we just swing over and it's going to be mate. So that was all accurate. This was all accurate by me, and I thought the puzzle was going to end here. And again, after g5, so what's the most accurate way to win there? If g5, bishop takes f8 check, g takes h4, taking my rook. Rook h5 check allows king to g6. Rook h6 check, king to g5, and I see no mate. If g5, rook takes g5, queen to b6 check. Oh, no, that's just winning. I have c5. So I was right about that. I panicked. If g5, rook takes g5, queen to b6 check, c5. Blocks the check. And, of course, taking with the queen, we'll take the queen. If the queen does anything else, we'll mate. And if they take with the pawn, we just move the bishop to anywhere, and it's mate. Well, that makes me feel better now, doesn't it? So, and just to double check that I was right, if takes, bishop f7 wins. Even if they move e5, we can probably just move this bishop with discovered check and win the queen. If not, move the rook somewhere else and keep the mating net going. So that was a tough puzzle. This was a tough daily puzzle. Despite even knowing the position and immediately having this sort of vague memory of this puzzle before. Maybe I solved it in Tactics Trainer, or maybe I wouldn't be surprised if there was an article written on it by so many of our great authors. But even being familiar with it, it was not easy to see this one all the way to the end. So what do I need to work on there? I mean, I was familiar with this and the whole mating pen light square, so I guess I should not be so hard on myself. Basically solved it to the end there. Just frustrated that I didn't even... I assumed rook takes g5 was just over, forgetting about this, to be honest, which is it's how you make blunders in games, as you lose your full board awareness. I have a video series on Chess.com that talks about being sharp in tournament chess and building your visualization skills, your ability to see a position in your head as if it's right in front of you. People often confuse that for calculation, which is like, I go there, he goes there, I go there, he goes there. But actually the ability to see the board clearly and do what you would do when a position is right in front of you. What do you do when a position is in front of you? You consider candidate moves, and you recognize weaknesses, and you sort of evaluate the essence of the position, the strategical nature. A lot of people don't do that at the end of their calculation lines, and so you miss moves, and you lose your full board awareness, your full board vision, and that's how blunders are made at the end of what you thought was a forcing line. All of a sudden, someone plays a move you didn't see, and you're like, Bob's your uncle, right? So that's why it's frustrating. But hey, I'm not the young man I used to be here at 28 years old. I'm getting old, guys. But still solved to the end. I feel pretty good about this combination, and it was a good pattern, a good Saturday, a nice little Saturday. Who knows? Maybe now we'll go to Home Depot, maybe Bed Bath & Beyond if we have enough time. All right, everybody. See you later.